Have you ever felt so drained when going to school that you don't remember anything you did that day in classes? That is how many of our high school students in America feel on a daily basis. That is why we need to push school start times back for high schoolers. As a future educator and a former high school student myself, I feel like I have had a lot of experience with high school, and I will in the future, which is why I'm credible enough to speak on this topic. I think it is vitally important that our high schoolers get enough sleep on a daily basis. According to the CDC, in their 2018 article, Schools Start Too Early, 93% of high schoolers start before 8:30 a.m. Teenagers have a different biological rhythm than us that make them stay up later in the night, which is something they can't help. This makes them want to get up later because they haven't had enough sleep since they went to bed so late. Students aren't getting enough sleep to perform at their best, both mentally and physically. Schools need to start later because it will improve academic success, decrease drowsy driving, and improve the moods of students throughout the day. To begin, a later school start time will allow students to perform at their best academically. A study was done in 2018 by James Orton from the University of Washington. This study compared students' success in certain classes between a group of students who started before the school start time and another group of students that took the courses when the school start time was pushed back. They found that the final grade rose by 4.5% for students who took the course at a later school start time. Students need to be able to reach their full potential. By starting school later, we will give these students their best chance at performing for their future and getting the most out of their education at this moment. Next, starting school later will help increase the safety of our students driving to and from school. Drowsy driving causes more than 6,400 crashes a year in the U.S. These crashes are mostly happen to people between the ages of 16 and 24 years old. In 2017, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine did a study called Teens with Earlier School Start Times Have Higher Crash Rates. They compared two schools, School A and School B. School A started at 7:20 a.m. and School B started at 8:45. Accidents occurred 27% more often in teen drivers from School A than in School B. And they had a higher number of run-off-the-road crashes, which are linked to drowsy driving. The later school start time will allow students to get an adequate amount of sleep and be on the cycle of their cardiac rhythm. Schools need to keep their students safe, and that includes thinking about how they are commuting to school. Students will be less likely to crash if schools start later and they are able to get the correct amount of sleep for their certain bodies. The final reason schools should start later is the benefits it will have on teenagers' moods and behaviors, which will also be beneficial in turn to teachers and parents. Teenagers have a stereotype of being cranky, irrational, and moody. They also can't regulate their moods, such as getting upset easily or frustrated quickly. In their 2015 article, Sleep in Adolescence, Nationwide's Children's Hospital explains how young adults should be getting 9 to 9.5 hours of sleep per night. This means that students are more likely to have unstable moods or behaviors because sleep is what helps them function normally and gives them stability. According to the 2019 article, Later School Start Times Linked to Better Teen Grades by Science News for Students, They said, teens who don't sleep well may find it harder to absorb new material the next day. Starting school later will help students sleep enough and have their brain time to reprocess and think about all the materials they have learned that day. Teachers will also benefit from the later school start time because with better behaviors in their classroom, they will be able to focus more on the academic stuff than the behaviors behind it. All in all, schools should be a place to grow and achieve with the ability to do your best. Your ability comes from the amount of sleep you get per night. Making schools have a later school start time will allow students to achieve more and have a happier outlook on life. Students deal with so much pressure as it is. School, sports, jobs, scholarships. These are all things dealt with by people who don't have fully developed brains. As college students, we have been through this, and it is our responsibility to push for a better future for our kids and these students who come after us. Pushing the school start time back will allow for better academic scores, fewer crashes in teen driving, and an overall improved mood of our teenagers in our society. These are important reasons schools should think about pushing the school start time back for the benefit of their high school students. Thank you.